Hi guys, it's Hanya here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys like pumpkin and cheesecake. Today, I'm gonna show you how to make these delicious mini pumpkin cheesecakes, and we're gonna make our own pumpkin puree. So today, I bought pumpkins at a local farm. These are eating pumpkins, as they told me at the farm. So I just followed their directions. I baked these for about hour and a half until they were really soft. One of the pumpkins gave me a little bit of a hard time. I struggled with it, so I couldn't cut it in half, and I gotta tell you, I nearly resigned my position in the kitchen. But then I came back and I gave it a little beating. It actually works like a really good anger management therapy. So just get a pumpkin and beat it up and you'll be fine for a couple months. No, I'm just kidding. Don't beat up a pumpkin. That would be so cruel. So once you have the pumpkin baked, you want to let it cool for a little bit because it's going to be really hot. And then we're going to process it in a food processor until it's super smooth. I gotta tell you, both of these, they taste amazing. They are so sweet and nutty and just totally delicious. So now we are ready to prepare the crust. So I'm using graham crackers, and I also like to add some oats, and we'll be using brown sugar and granulated sugar. For the spices, I'm using some cinnamon, and I'm also adding some coffee. And instead of butter, I'm gonna be using one whole egg white. Egg white is going to bind everything together. If you want to use butter, be sure to melt the butter and add melted butter. Now we're gonna process the cookies first in my little food processor, and then I'm going to add oats and sugar and cinnamon and coffee. Now I'm adding the egg white, and you're just gonna stir this until you have a mass that when pressed together between your fingers, it holds together. I'm using this wonderful mini cheesecake pan with removable bottoms. We're gonna spray it with some nonstick spray, and then we'll fill it with our crust. I'm using a heaping tablespoon. Now use a shot glass or shot glass to press the crust. And now we're gonna bake it for about 8 minutes. Once baked, let it cool for another 10-15 minutes, and while it's cooling, prepare the filling. So I'm using our delicious homemade pumpkin puree, cream cheese, mini chocolate chips. I'm using non-fat plain Greek yogurt. Spices, I'm using cinnamon, ginger, and also some cornstarch, and I'm going to add freshly grated nutmeg. I'm using granulated sugar. Depending on how sweet the pumpkin is, you can use less or more. If you are using store-bought pumpkin puree, I would suggest that you use a little more sugar. I'm using one whole egg and one egg yolk that we had left over from the crust, and also vanilla extract for some extra flavor. First, we're gonna beat the cream cheese until smooth, and then you can add pumpkin puree, beat until combined. Now you can beat in granulated sugar, yogurt, eggs. Make sure you add eggs gradually. Now I'm adding the spices, cornstarch, and we're also going to add a little bit of nutmeg. I'm gonna use my zester to grate the nutmeg. Freshly grated nutmeg is the best. I don't even buy ground nutmeg. I always use fresh. And last ingredient, this is optional. I'm gonna stir in mini chocolate chips. Now it's time to fill the mini cheesecake pan. You can also use a pastry bag and just fill the pastry bag with the batter, and then you can pipe into each cavity until you reach the top. I'm going to bake these for about 18 to 20 minutes. Once baked, they're gonna be all puffy, but as they cool, they will flatten out a little bit, and then you can remove them from a pan. So basically, you're just gonna press the bottom disc up and they should pop out really, really easily. And now we're ready to make the whipped cream. Now this is optional, you don't have to use whipped cream, but I really, really like it. With the whipped cream, I also like to add gelatin, so I'm going to bloom the gelatin. And then we'll also add some powdered sugar, and I have some Szechuan cinnamon, and I will dust the tops with it. So first we're gonna bloom the gelatin. You can tell it's bloomed, it's a little spongy, so I'm going to microwave it for about 3 to 5 seconds until there are no more granules there, so you can rub it between your fingers, and if there is nothing grainy there, it means it's done. You don't want to overheat the gelatin. Make sure you let it cool for a little bit before you add it to your whipped cream. So once you reach the about soft peaks, you can add the gelatin. Make sure that you are beating on high. You can add powdered sugar, and also don't forget to add a splash of vanilla extract. You want to beat whipped cream or heavy cream just until you have stiff peaks formed, because if you go any longer, you may turn it into butter and it will be all curly, so it's not a really nice consistency. So now I've fitted my piping bag with a large star tip, and I'm just gonna pipe swirls on the top of the chilled mini cheesecakes. Now I'm using cinnamon, and I'm going to dust the tops with cinnamon. And that's how easy it is to make these delicious mini pumpkin cheesecakes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.